Now send money to the Philippines with no fees. Transfer money to GCash, Cash Pickup, and banks in the Philippines. SendWave is a fee-free app to help overseas foreign workers and Filipinos living abroad send more of their hard-earned money back home. SendWave is available in the USA, Canada, and parts of Europe to send money to the Philippines with zero remittance fees and rapid transfers. Enjoy free credit by entering promo code Paco to get a free $20 credit on your first transfer. To sign up, please click the link on the description below or anywhere you see on the screen. So what are you waiting for? Download the SendWave app right now. Rejuvenate your smile with Dr. Lourdes Capelong's comprehensive range of dental solutions. Along with general dentistry, Dr. Capelong specializes in cosmetic dentistry, including teeth whitening, bonding, dental veneers, and surgical crowns. Whether it's urgent care or preventive treatment, she'll take care of you and your smile. To schedule an appointment, call the clinic at area code 323-257-7582.
Visit AbbaEServices.com for fast medical transcription service. This podcast episode is brought to you by AB Music Creative.
And the podcast will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the podcast, Miss Annie Nepomuceno.
Hey! Hello, everybody! Kamusta kayong lahat?
Kamusta ka?
Kamusta ka? Ikaw, galing sa biyahe.
Biyahe-biyahe pa rin hanggang ngayon. Meron pa tayong mga 4 pa na shows as
diba?
of this
Bongga.
taping. Anyway, ikaw muna.
Yes.
Before we started the podcast, nung sinabi ng producer natin na si JJ to silence the phone, naintriga ako because yung phone mo, sinabi mo kay Ed, shoutout nga pala kay Ed sa iyong asawa, na patayin yung alarm. So you have an alarm for everything.
Most of the things that I try to remind myself
So this
to
is
do.
this is your productivity style, right?
Yeah, I would say.
I wanna know why.
Kasi I'm juggling different things and I have to kunyari ito, computer task, ito, website task, na kahit na may virtual assistant ako, I still do everything and I'm leading, hindi lang volunteering leading at least 3 nonprofits.
Okay, you have 3 nonprofits, you teach voice, you sing. Para saan yung website? Nag-e-commerce ka rin?
Yeah, hindi. It's for the website of one of the production
the
company.
production. Okay,
the
wow.
production company, and I think in our Chamber of Commerce, the one that's the entire San Fernando Valley, something's wrong with the website. So I said, let's just simplify. Gawin na lang natin yan. Ako naman ang gumagawa ng website nung.
Ikaw rin.
Bili lang naman yun. It's drag and drop.
Now,
Yeah.
you took matters into your own hands.
Yeah.
OCD ka ba?
Siguro feeling ko ADHD was to some extent.
ADHD, OCD, that's a bad combo, ha?
Ganun ba yun? Pero ewan ko. Pero may pagka-OCD rin ako for certain things, tingin ko. Oo.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Pero I'm not really diagnosed as such.
Now, off-cam, trivially speaking, guys, kung lumaki kayo ng 80s, mga ganun.
Parang tagal-tagal na nun.
So kinanta mo yung jingle ng Hope
Yes.
Cigarettes, right? Laging ginagawa sa akin ng mga tao to pag ini-interview nila ako.
Oh.
And I hate to do this to other people. But I will make an exception today dahil ang ganda i-throwback eh. Can you sing a line dun sa Hope commercial?
Share and enjoy that great hope freshness. But, ironic, ang ironic, hindi ako nagsisigarilyo.
Ito naman, kaya alam ko, ito yung sigarilyo ng nanay ko dati.
Oh, really?
Oo. Kaya lagi ko siyang inaalaska. But thanks for singing that. By the way, please don't smoke if you're not smoking. Okay. So, your career started in the Philippines. As what?
Actually, I actually started teaching when I was 16 years old.
Teaching voice.
Piano.
Piano.
Sa mga kapitbahay namin.
Okay, let's backtrack. So this is interesting. When did you learn to play the piano?
Babacktrack pa tayo ng konti.
Sige.
Kasi nung 8 years old ako, sinali ako ng nanay ko sa choir. Ang requirement sa choir, sa UP Cherubim and Seraphim, kailangan lahat kami magpiano kasi para daw we can read notes.
Para solfege or
so
whatever.
we can teach ourselves and practice. Apparently, ako lang pala yung nagpa-practice at nagtuturo ng sarili ko. And I learned like much later in life that mga kasama ko sa choir, mga sumusunod lang pala sila. But all of us really took piano lessons. Kaya, the entrepreneurial me, wala akong pera. Gusto mo turuan mo yung kapitbahay? O sige! Diba?
So you taught piano muna, hindi?
Yeah, piano first. Kasi it's...
Wait, you learned piano at 8?
8 singing also sa choir.
Tapos did you teach piano or did you teach voice?
No, I taught piano first.
So yung mga hanon, mga ganun?
Oo, yeah. Pero maliliit pa yung mga bata, mga teaching little fingers how to play lang yun.
Okay.
Yung John Thompson, yun lang.
How old were you?
I started when I was 16 to teach. Pero doing recordings sa choir, because I was in the choir, siguro mga 12. Pero konti lang yun nung mga 12 years old.
Did you know at an age of 12 that this is what you wanted to do?
No, not at all.
So what did you want to be?
Actually, I wanted to be a fashion designer.
And I hope people are listening because sometimes yung naiisip mo is iba pala sa calling mo di ba?
Oo.
May mga ganun
Oo, kasi a lot of people ask me that question. Pero sabi ko, kaya ako naging musiko kasi dun I apparently excelled in it or I found myself in a community that does music. Tapos pag umalis ako doon, parang feeling ko fish out of water ako. Diba?
Oh.
Kasi the children's choir rehearsed at the UP College of Music. So, syempre, palagi na ako sa College of Music. Pag nag-upcut ako, mag-broadcast communication ako.
So, nag-College of Music ka?
Yeah.
So, kilala mo si Miss Vina Gonzalez?
Yes.
Okay.
Oo.
Si Tita Vina is the mom of Pancho na kasama kong nagpaanak sa mga aso.
Oh, really? Oo.
Si Pancho is the manager of Bamboo.
I see.
So si Tita Vina ang...
And Vina is former, one of the original, di ba, B? We were both in the Philippine Madrigal Singers. So she was one of the originals.
Yes.
So kami magkakakilala na kaming lahat.
Hi Tita Vina. She likes watching the podcast.
Hi!
so
Haven't
okay.
seen her in a while.
So retired. Ngayon pa Hong Kong na lang.
Ay, sama ako.
Yun. So anyway, I digress. So you did this. So fish out of water pag wala ka sa community of musicians. Kailan mo inabandon yung fashion designer dream mo?
It's funny. I didn't really abandon it because modista ako ngayon. I mean, I still sew. Kasi iba pala yung modista sa fashion designer, as in the same way that an arranger is different from an orchestrator.
And a songwriter.
Diba? Kasi magkaiba. It's still in the same industry. Pero there was a time here, I was sewing, nakikiusap kasi sila. I really didn't. Pero it was like a way to save money and for me to occupy myself.
So wait. So modista ka. So anong brand ng pananahi anong makina mo?
Actually, it's funny. It's a $50 Sears na binigay lang sa akin. But
De pindot o de pedal?
Electric na yun
Electric
nandito.
na.
Pero when I was 16 years old, I had 2 sewing machines sa bahay namin sa Pilipinas. Pero I just made clothes for myself and my friends.
Alam mo, nai-inspire ako sa... when you said entrepreneurship, you were not kidding. Talagang drilled down 6th level pababa yung pagiging entrepreneur mo, no?
Oo nga, pero now that you brought it up, I never really thought of it that way.
Did you ever hold a day job?
No. Kasi I would consider my day job was teaching at Ryan Cayabyab Music Studio. Kasi nandun ako ng 9 a.m.
Sa Harrison Plaza?
Hindi, that was, anong pangalan nun, B, sa Makati? Sanvar Plaza.
Sanvar. Okay,
Sanvar
okay.
Plaza in Makati.
Okay.
So doon ako pumapasok, nakatira kami sa Philinvest 1 sa Batasan.
Oh my God.
So nagla-love bus kami ng aking mga kasamang nagtuturo, nagkakasabay kami.
Sino kasama mo sa Ryan Cayabyab? Sina Edward?
Si Edward, Grandosin, kasama ko rin sa Three of a Kind.
Yeah.
Si Ed, mga asawa ko nandun. I think we were married already by that time, no? Yeah.
So si Ed, you sing also?
Yeah, nag-LA Master Choral yan dito.
So so this is interesting kasi nung kami ni Geneva, we were both artists, right? We thought it was going to work. It did not work between us as musicians and artists. Kumbaga magkaiba yung opinion namin. Kaya sa bahay, we didn't really talk about our craft.
Aha.
Kayong dalawa ni Ed, your husband, how did it work for both of you? Did you compliment each other? Or were you critics of each other?
I think both kasi he was a master orchestrator. He did George Canseco's movies, yung scoring.
Yeah.
Tapos minsan pag magpapademo si Uncle George, ako yung kakanta. Then we both worked with Ryan Cayabyab. We did live na backup. Pero nung nagkaroon, yung nag-divert na yung ano ko, kasi nga like...
Yung genre.
Oo, nag-frontliner kami. Di ba yung Three of a Kind? Kasi we always worked in the background. Tapos sabi ko, mag-frontliner naman tayo para makaslakas naman yung kita natin or something. Tumaas-taas, no? Kasi we were so busy naman at that time. Laman ako ng recording studio. 3 times a week nasa recording studio ako noon while teaching at Ryan's studio.
Grabe, no?
But anyway, I think nung nagkaroon ng diversion na yon, yung nag-iba, he was still very supportive. Biro mo, during that time, he, later na, matagal, we've been married 30, ilan na nga ba? 35? 30 something
That deserves
years.
a round of applause.
35, 34, ilan? 34. See, I have to ask him. Wala na akong natatandaan. but when we were, he allowed me to travel to the US with my group Three of a Kind. So we were magko-concert kami dito, sasama kami kay Vina, magba-back up, kay Pops, ganoon.
So it was you, si Edward. Who was the other one?
Jello Francisco.
Jello, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so yung ginawa namin yon, uwi ako ng Pilipinas. No? So pero there was a time talaga magkaiba ng ginagawa namin sa music because he was with the San Miguel Performing Arts. Ano nga ang pangalan niyo ulit? San Miguel Master Choral. Ano ba ito? Wala ko matandaan. San Miguel Master Choral for 7 years and doing orchestration and nagtuturo ng 3 choirs. No? So, malakas ang choir, pagtuturo ng choir sa Pilipinas. Almost every corner has a choir. And almost everyone came from the Philippine Madrigal Singers or trained by a Philippine, from the roster of the Philippine Madrigal Singers where we both came from.
You know why this conversation is very inspiring. Nung panahon natin, it was frowned upon pag gusto mo maging musiko eh. Di ba? Walang pera dyan. Di tulad ngayon. Now, with the advent of streaming, you have young millionaires because bedroom musicians sila and they're making millions of pesos or hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Right? Pero nung panahon natin, it wasn't like that. But you and Ed, you're both musiko. Diba? You're both there. Pinasok ka ng parents mo sa choir at a young age of 8. When they realized na ito talaga ang direksyon na pupuntahan mo, was there any pushback or...
No, there wasn't. I was very lucky. My father kasi, taga-Tondo yan na naging UP, Juan Luna, tas naging UP professor, tapos naging undersecretary of the Ministry of Natural Resources, and by the time that he died, he was already a senior director in World Wildlife Fund in Washington, D.C. Kasi pinalaki siya, yung tatay niya, Makata. So sanay sila sa hirap, and he kind of told me na, if somebody wants to be an artist, they're gonna swallow everything that comes with it.
Say it again, please.
If anyone wants to be an artist, they're gonna swallow whatever comes with it.
Now, elaborate. Ako naiintindihan ko yun.
Yeah.
Pero I want you to elaborate it with everybody else because I think lahat tayo rito, pero lang kay Ives because si Ives hindi artist. Pero we had to swallow everything.
Baka may pagka-ano ka.
Hi Ives. We had to really swallow everything.
Yeah.
Palugi yan sa umpisa eh.
Oo, tsaka...
And then ang daming rejection yan eh.
Kasi ito rin sinabi ng tatay ko. Nasabi ng tatay niya. Pag nagtanim ka ng kamoting kahoy, hindi ka mamamatay.
Totoo.
Our needs are basically not that difficult to... kaya I think nasanay ako nung bata pa ako, wala akong pera, o sige, hindi ko nalang bibilin yan. Madali lang yun. Tapos, may pera ako. O saan nyo gusto kumain? It was like that with my father. And I think ganun din siya eh. Diba? So he trained us na kasi he also was serving under Tita Cory na sige, I'm going to quit my position after doing this and between gano'n. Tapos sabi niya, dito wala tayong masyadong okay, wala sa amin.
How many siblings did you have?
Just one.
Ikaw lang?
No, one
okay.
other sister. And my sister lives in Sydney Australia.
So 4 of you in the family.
Yeah, 4 lang kami nung nakatira sa bahay. Tapos, pero yun nga, yung mga sinasabi sa akin ng tatay ko, yun yung tinuro din sa kanya ng tatay niya. And he would tell me how entrepreneurial my grandmother was. Kasi yung family ng father ko, 7 magkakapatid yan. 3 lang ang nag-survive kasi panahon ng gera.
Yeah, I'm
diba?
sorry.
So during the war. So they all died when they were kids kasi there's no medicine and stuff like that. But my grandmother became one of the most popular people during wartime kasi ang sabi niya, sa probinsya maraming damit, maraming pagkain, walang masuot. Sa Maynila, walang makain, daming damit. So nag-trade siya ng ganon. So, pag iniisip ko yon, parang lagi kong iniisip na, pag kailangan mong mabuhay, if you have to survive, it's different. And sometimes it's really just simple, lahat yan luho, and I'm sorry to, hopefully walang matamaan. Pero
Tamaan mo!
hindi kasi minsan you have to realize that, na parang, who are you? Dito kasi sa US, more, I would say maybe a little bit more dito, lalo na sa mga Pilipino. We try to impress each other.
Na wala namang pakialam talaga sa,
actually.
sa atin, di ba?
Na, if you think about it, wala naman talaga tayong pakialam. It's okay if you want to, it's fine, di ba? If that makes you happy, fine, di ba? Pero you should really yung kaligayahan mo yun eh. Yun yung when you swallow everything that comes with it. Let's say, di ba, yung walang tulugan, hindi pa tapos ang mix.
Yes.
Di ba?
Yes.
Walang tulugan yan. Diba? Tapos let's say you're recording a song. I would leave at 6 a.m. ng recording studio dahil hindi pa kami tapos.
Yes.
Tapos yung tatay ko, hindi pa kami tapos. I swear, I was just there.
Ang galing, no?
Diba? Yeah.
Now,
and that's basically it.
How many kids do you have?
We do not have any children.
Dahil busy sa music.
Not really.
Okay.
Not really.
Was it a choice?
No, it was not. Maybe not our choice. Somebody else's choice.
Okay, if it's God's will, okay. Let's put it on the table and tell me how far you want to go, because I have friends also who were not, given, I wouldn't say not blessed, but not given kids, di ba?
Yeah.
Kasi parang pangit naman, hindi ako blessed, ganyan. Like my sister, biologically couldn't have kids. She chose to adopt. She's very happy. Okay? But in your case, and addressing this, when you guys found out na, okay, we're not gonna have kids, how quick or how long was the acceptance of that?
We actually tried. My husband's sister is a OB-GYN. So we had the resources and we tried. Kaya lang wala lang talagang nabubuo. And it's funny, walang explanation.
Okay.
Walang explanation kung bakit wala. Ganon.
Yes.
Tapos, bakit wala? We don't know. Parang ganon. Okay. So we never really stopped trying until, you didn't notice the time had passed by.
Right.
Tapos, I actually even took a leave from my group. I stayed in the Philippines. I think what year was that? The year 2001 yata or 2002. I forgot which one. Pero, yun nga, kasi sabi ko, I'll stay there kasi biyahe nga ako ng biyahe. Pero, and I know some other couples na, tas parang inisip ko, yun nga, I'm not and some people will say, ikaw kasi, hindi ka ganito. Parang,
Diba, that's I think that's unfair. Huh?
Yeah.
I want to address that because I think it's unfair. It's also unfair, and tell me if I'm right or wrong. It's also unfair to judge a person na walang anak. Choice nila yun eh. And sometimes in your case, hindi nyo nga choice yun eh.
Hindi namin choice na wala. Tsaka hindi rin namin alam bakit.
But there's humility there eh, di ba? That's where you find out, Lord, ano ba purpose mo sa buhay ko, di ba?
Yes.
And then it opens your mind to a different opportunity, maybe ganon, di ba?
Yeah, and that's why I continued to pursue music. Kasi parang if I'm drawn to this, diba? If I'm drawn to this and I seem to be excelling here and I feel at home here, tapos yung nga nung college kami, tawag dyan harang eh. O nasan si ganto, absent, may harang. No, may harang kasi. Ano yung harang? Harang sa pag-graduate, di ba? yun yung ibig sabihin nun. Pero fortunately kami ni Ed na nakapagtapos kami. Oo, so...
Daanan natin mabilisan yung love story nyo ni Ed. Saka kayo nagkakilala.
Sa College of Music, sa Philippine Madrigal Singers.
Sino nakakita kanino?
Ay, hindi ko alam yan. Oo, yun nga. I was still in Children's Choir. Nasa Philippine Madrigal Singers.
Teka, ilang taon nang agwat din. Oh.
So if you think about it, it's like, hindi, 8 years ang agwat namin. So
Bata
I was touring with the Mads at I was touring with the children's choir. I was maybe 15 or 16. So he was touring with the Philippine Madrigal Singers. We went to the same festival in Japan. Diba? So 24.
So iniispatan ka na pala.
Hindi, malamang hindi. I don't think so.
Sexy! Paputi-puti! Sino ba tong cherubim na to?
Well, anyway, so yun. So magkasama kami sa Philippine Madrigal Singers. Tapos,
Wait.
oh, bakit? Meron bang...
So magkasama kayo sa Philippine Madrigal. Sino nag-recruit sa'yo?
Oh, si Mrs. Veneracion, the conductor.
Malamang binulungan ni Ed yun. I-recruit mo si Annie. Okay, tapos, so doon kayo nagkakilala.
I think that's where we grew close. Kasi we worked together. We were both teaching at Ryan Studio. Tapos nag-recording kami magkasama.
Hindi, binabalik ako. Okay, paano? Okay, sino nagpasok sa'yo kay Mr. C sa studio niya?
Before kasi noon, I met Mr. C when I was 17.
Okay, so hindi si Ed ang nagpasok sa'yo sa ano?
Hindi, not really. Pero kasi si Ed actually, favorite ni Mr. C yan. So sila, barkada nila si Emmy, yung asawa ni Mr. C.
Yes.
Diba? So syempre, magkakasama sila palagi. And they were older than me.
Sakit mo magsalita.
No, kasi I mean, they were in a different batch.
Yun.
Kasi. So, nung pumasok ako sa College of Music, ang kasama ko sa klase, 3 lang kami sa composition class kasi I started as a compo major. It was Monet Silvestre, me, and Joey Benin. Kaming 3 ang estudyante ni Ryan Cayabyab for composition 101 or 102. Siguro mga a year and a half kami magkasama or something like that.
Ang galing.
Diba? Tapos nung actually late bloomer ako sa Mads, I was still with the children's choir until I was 17 yata or something. And then I made the transition. Kaya batang-bata pa ako nung nag-join ako ng Mads.
So now, you're with the Madrigal singer. And then, finally, normally doon kukunin yun eh. From there, biglang mapupunta ka na sa pop scene. Di ba? Nung kasikatan ni na Martin, ni na Gary, ni na Louie Heredia. Di ba? Kumbaga, kung sino may concert sa Araneta o sa Ultra, ayan na. How did you get into that?
Kasi Mr. C would hire us to sing first sa mga recording para training namin.
Did you ever do the Smoky Mountain o sina
hindi.
Cecil ba yun o sina Sushi?
Hindi, ang tinuruan ko was 14K.
O sina Jolina?
Before Smoky Mountain came along. Nag-tour na yata kami noon nung time ng Smoky Mountain. Pero ano nga ba pinag-usapan natin?
Hindi, yun nga. To get inside.
Yeah. So kaya kami naging pop. Actually, nag-start yan. Ito some people don't know this. Ang talagang nag-discover sa akin is Lori Ilustre. Kasi kapitbahay namin siya. Tapos, bagong kasal pa lang sila, inintroduce na ako sa kanya. Yung tunog ko, tunog bata.
Yes.
Talaga kasi I think, sabi niya 12 ka lang yata. No? Sabi ko, no, I was 15. That's how bata I sounded. Hindi, 15 na ako. So he would call me, kasi lalakarin ko lang yung bahay niya, kakanta ko ng demo.
Convenient for both of you.
Yeah, exactly.
Diba?
Pinakilala ko. Tapos siguro mga a year or 2 later, tsaka ako nakilala si Mr. C.
Right.
Pero nung kami magkasama ni Ed kasi, he would hire us to sing backup for recordings, for OPM, yung mga training, yung mga training recordings ng organisasyong Pilipinong mga awit. Pag magkakaroling sila, may mga areglo si Mr. C na mahirap, so pakakanta muna sa amin. Di ba? Tapos, he would hire us to do the octet for Basil Valdez. Si Basil, kasama niya sila Babsi, may trio na backup singers. Tapos meron pang 8 singer na magkaiba kami ng areglo na kinakanta.
Grabe, no?
Mm-hmm. Then that's really how it started. So I think combining, sa live kasi, and pop, it was Mr. C who started it. So in the course, makikilala mo na yung mga musiko.
Now,
tapos sa jingle, si Lori.
Were you having fun or did you consider it work?
Ay, alam mo, masaya lang ako noon na binabayaran ako eh. Tapos, siguro I was fortunate enough na yung needs ko, hindi naman ganun kalaki kasi we had a home and until my father said, 22 ka na, wala ka ng allowance ha? But I still live there.
Okay, so you were 22, right? Look at this. You were 22. Kilala mo si Mr. C. You have talent. You were in the industry. Kilala mo si Lori Ilustre. You were backing up all these solo artists. Hindi mo ba naisip na at the age of 22, ripe age yun eh. Or minsan nga, hindi na nga, medyo huli na nga yun, mga ganong edad eh. Na dapat may album ako.
Hindi. You know why?
Why?
I was so busy and I loved being in the studio recording other people's stuff.
So may ganun pala talaga.
Oo. Kasi I think kasi as a background singer or a hired voice, yun yung trabaho ko. I found
voice talent, di ba?
Oo, parang ganun. So I really found joy in being able to do that job. Tapos walang commitment. I actually felt at that time na buti na lang hindi ko wino-worry kung bumibenta yung plaka ko o hindi. Or,
kumbaga, you just sing and then done.
yeah.
Diba? Walang,
Tapos uwi na ako.
no attachment to outcome. Di ba?
Yeah. Oo. Tapos uwi na ako. Ganun. Meron na. Uy, may pera na ako. Uwi na ako. Ganun.
Tapos, wala kang, you're right. No, you remain anonymous. Di ba? Uy, ako yan. Pero wala nakakaalam. Okay, so the limelight really wasn't appealing to you at the time. At that time.
Yeah, at
because
that time.
Eventually, as you got older, as you matured, na-realize mo na, teka muna, parang itong mga to, isang gig lang, parang katumbas ito, 10 gig ko.
Oh, yeah.
Di ba?
Oo.
So when did you realize na, you know what, wait a minute, sometimes I'm more talented than these people, na wag na natin banggitin. Maybe I should go in front. So, kayo ni na Edward.
Oo, yeah.
Diba?
Kami nila Edward.
Jello.
Pero yung kaya ko rin ginawa yon kasi I was really addicted to harmony singing. I didn't want to sing by myself for some reason. I wanted to hear the harmony. Kasi nga mula nung bata ako, choir, Philippine Madrigal Singers. Tapos parang mag-isa lang ako kakanta, parang ang corny naman. Tapos backup singing pa. Eh di ba yung talent nun is harmony singing on the spot. Hanapin mo yung chord, hanapin mo yung ganyan. Kala ng mga ibang tao madali, pero pag sumasabay na sila sa harmony, sasabay sa melody, mga ganun. We had that talent.
Iliko lang natin ng konti. When you sing harmony, did it come naturally when you started na alam mong pwede mong pasukan ng harmony dito? Nagigets mo yung ibig sabihin? Like if I sing melody, may mga taong bigla lang sasabit sa melody mo. And then ang ganda na pag-harmonize nila ron.
Yeah,
Are you that type of person?
I don't know. Ngayon siguro, pero nung bata pa kasi ako, pag sinabi mong kantahin mo yung do, o ikaw mi, doon ka lang sa mi, okay. Stay lang ako sa mi, hindi ako mawawala.
So yung interval ng mga nota.
Oh, yung parang if you tell me to stay on that note or whatever note this is, sing this one, I could just sing there.
Without being distracted by the other notes. Wow.
No, I don't know. I never felt distracted na nawawala ako kasi naririnig ko sila.
Hindi ka ADHD.
Hindi.
Kasi
Hindi.
kung
Hindi ba ganun ba?
Ka, parang, uy, ang ganda nung ginagawa mo. Doon din ako.
Hindi. But I'm sure that I didn't do that. Like, I knew, but I could hear their notes as well. But I knew they were different from mine.
Yung tipong dito sila tumatakbo, nakikita mo sa periphery mo, naririnig mo sa periphery mo, and then...
Yes, and then this is mine and this is theirs. Ay, ang galing. Yung gano'n. Ganon, parang ay magkaiba. Tapos pag pinagsama mo, ang ganda ng tunog, yung ganon.
Yun, kaya ni JJ. Ako hindi. So doon mo makikita, hindi talaga ako kumakat. Hindi.
Kaya drummer ka.
Ang masama pa nito, kung ako melody, ikaw harmony, mamayang konti, nag-harmony na tayo.
Ay, pareho na tayong kinakanta ganon.
Okay, so you were doing that. When did you realize nga na, okay, gusto ko nang may mga harmony na kasama, pero this time around, I want to brand myself.
Yeah.
Hindi pa nga Annie Nepomuceno nung una 3 of a kind muna di ba?
Yeah.
So paano nyo napag-usapan to?
You mean sa grupo?
Oh.
Before? Kasi actually, I invited them to sing. So basically, I was the vocal arranger of the group.
Philippines pa to, ha?
Oh, Philippines pa.
Okay.
Actually, mid-90s yon. Pero I think yung talagang nag-udyok sa akin, nag-udyok, para maggawa ng grupo or to be the frontliner. Kasi sabi ko, parang napapagod na ako. Tapos, nagbanda rin ako, pumwesto din ako for a while. Sabi ko, parang gusto kong merong ma-create, 'di ba? Instead of just, kasi like your question, like, didn't you wanna have an album before? No. Pero later on nasabi ko, parang I wanna be more creative.
Yes.
'Di ba? So I think one of our popular songs that was requested during the pandemic, we had like some reunion videos, was Man in the Mirror with just, a cappella, just the three of us. And Paalam na, kinanta ba namin yun? Paalam na just the three of us, a cappella. So there were some songs
Salbahay na talaga sa pandemic nyo kinantayan.
Hindi kasi may
Ngayon
request.
naiisip ko, parang may COVID ako. Paalam na.
No, I think it was a reunion something. Patapos na yata yung pandemic nun or something. Kasi,
Akala ko kasagsagan ng pandemic,
hindi
kakanta ka
naman.
ng paalam na.
Hindi, pero nakakatuwa naman. Kasi actually, I think I'm a late bloomer when it comes to being a soloist. Kasi nung pandemic din ako nagkaroon ng pinakamaraming collaboration. Ryan and Mr. C and I wrote a song for Island Pacific. Tapos, I wrote a song for Film Arts requested by Giselle Tonji that was co-produced with AJ Rafael. That's also
Galing.
on video. Sabi ko, tapos yung mga reunion ng mga children's choir, di ba? Yung mga ganun, ang dami-dami.
Galing.
Tapos sabi ko, parang ano ba to? Lahat na ginagawa ko, ako na nag-aareglo, ako pa kakanta. Tapos bibidyohin ko pa yung sarili ko, ako pa nagme-makeup sa sarili.
But then again, this is where you really sharpen your skills,
Yeah.
di ba?
Yeah. And I think that's something also probably, I'm not sure if it's just my personality or dala ng turo ng tatay ko, na talagang pag may opportunity kang pag-aralan, I'm kind of like interested. I'm not interested in everything. Pero kung meron, if there's something to learn, I wanna learn it. And most of the time, I tell my students or even yung mga kasama ko sa Chamber of Commerce before, kasi di ba pag feeling nila hindi sila techie, tapos ay, hindi ko alam to.
And then done.
Yun. Oo, sasabihin ko, tapos parang ganun. Sabi ko, hindi, alam mo kung kaya yan ng isang tao, kaya mo rin yan.
Yun ang magandang mindset, right?
Oo, yeah.
Kasi other people, sabi ko nga, you exert the same amount of energy finding excuses and finding solutions.
Yeah.
Same amount of energy yan eh.
Yes, exactly. You're right.
'Di ba? Magkaiba lang ng resulta. So ikaw, okay, kung kaya nito, malamang kaya ko rin. And then you're teaching your mind to find ways on how to develop the skill.
Yeah, if it's interesting to you, is interesting enough to you. Kasi pag-aaralan mo, whether binayaran mo o hindi, basta pinag-aralan mo.
Paano mo
You
naman
have
naisip?
interest.
Speaking of that, 'di ba? Kasi excuses, reasons too, 'di ba? Paano niyo pinag-usapan ni Ed na mag-migrate sa States? Because again, excuses, nako, mahirap ang buhay diyan. Or alam mo baka pwede.
I think there's a
At saka nag-react kayo. So may
Hindi kasi-
something dito eh.
Alam mo na. Ang something dito kasi, coming to the US started nung nagtutour ang Three of a Kind. So we actually left, may send off pa ang Martin After Dark sa amin noon. So good luck and ganun, may ganun. So we really parang announced our departure.
Right.
No, kasi, pero Edward and I are American citizens. I was born in Iowa. So, it wasn't, the only Jello was not. So, tapos nung nagtutour-tour na kami ng ganyan, pabalik-balik ako, no? Tapos sabi ko, pagod na ako, pwede bang ikaw yung bumiyahe? We tried to get him a tourist visa. 3 times denied. Kasama pa ako, pumunta pa ako sa embassy. Tapos, I think, was that the last time I actually said to the consul, so you mean, just so my husband can join me in the US, because I'm just tired of traveling, seriously, that's just it. You know, because we were both busy in both countries, no, that I have to petition him, that you have to take him as a permanent resident?
Ano sabi? Yes.
Yes. Ganun na nga nangyari. So, sabi ko sa kanya, alam mo, we're gonna wait. So, let's just file it. I mean, it's just filing anyway.
So si Ed, hindi binigyan ng tourist visa habang nakapending yung petition? Wala?
Hindi, wala pa yung petition kasi we just kept trying for the tourist visa.
Pero nung finally you filed for petition, did they
No, it was done very quickly.
Okay, good.
So at that time naman, yun naman yung dissolution, unexpected dissolution ng San Miguel Performing Arts Foundation.
Timing na naman.
Yeah, pero we were waiting a year.
That's fine.
Diba? Pero our intention really was for him to just come, just so I'm not the only one who keeps traveling.
Yeah.
Kasi I was the only one traveling.
Yes.
So, since permanent resident yun, hindi siya pwede ngayon biyahe ng biyahe. Although he could have. Pero that was the recession.
Oh,
So,
2007.
2007, 2008.
Yeah.
So, it wasn't practical to go back and forth.
Yes.
So, naglagi na kami dito. Tsaka anyway, we had a place to stay and stuff like that. It was hard kasi nga recession.
Okay, so ito na. So, recession, starting life, what was the conversation like or yung dynamics yung mag-asawa nung time na yon?
I
that
would
was
say,
LA, no? LA kayo bumaksak.
Yeah, oo, dito. For a while, we tried Chicago, but we still ended up here. Diretso siya dito sa LA. No, it was difficult because it was difficult overall. Dahil nga walang trabaho. Pero I think I'm very lucky that we have a good relationship. Na he's supportive, I'm supportive, pero kailangan syempre na pag-uusapan lang, di ba? And eventually...
Expound on na pag-uusapan lang. Because remember, ang mga couples, di ba, ang issue dyan is lack of communication.
Yes, exactly.
Talaga.
Oo.
And yung mga sensitive na hard conversations, yun ang kailangan nyo. So, what was it like?
I would say it was hard. Tapos, pag napilitan ka na mag-communicate, wala ka ng choice eh. Kayo lang dalawa magkasama eh. Doon mo lang marirealize na yung pala yung iniisip niya.
Ang sarap pala, no? Magtatanong ka lang at magkaaminan na.
Pero pag ganun, it's still difficult.
Yeah.
Kasi it's like, it's probably not what you expected, not what you wanted to hear. And it's like, oh my God, anong gagawin natin dito? Diba? Parang paano natin susolusyonan ito?
Kinikilig ako sa kwento na to. Hindi kasi other people, no. Other people kasi, sisisihin ka pa parang, yan pala nasa isip mo, ba't ganyan. Di ba? Parang, alam mo yung feeling lang na, hindi ko in-expect yun, pero, sige pa, paano natin?
No, pero pag sinabi kong mahirap, may kasamang ganun. Kasi that's a natural reaction.
Okay.
Diba? Pero parang siguro, dahil nga meron kayong, because you love each other,
Right.
you have to let them be themselves.
Yeah.
Be themselves and then give it time. Kasi minsan din makulit din ako. Gusto ko maintindihan ngayon na. Diba? Kaya lang minsan hindi nagwo-work yung ngayon na. You have to wait until the other party is ready. And sometimes that's where it's difficult. Kasi like you can't, parang ganito. Like if you were a person na kumukulo na yung feelings mo pero yung isang tao hindi ready, talaga magbabanggaan kayo and there's really gonna be discord. Maybe it's because we were doing it later in life na wala na kaming energy mag-away. Parang itulog na lang. Dito na lang ako sa kwarto. Bahala ka na dyan. Nunod na lang ako ng TV. Okay lang.
Okay.
Wala nang energy.
So now, dumating after. So nung recession, nakalusot tayong lahat sa recession. During the recession ba, when you were here in the States, starting all over again, walang mga concerts. What did you do?
Nagturo.
Naisip mo na,
Teaching has always been my backup for some reason. I know it doesn't seem like to be a backup, pero like when I was touring madalas with Rev, hindi ako nagtuturo nun. Tapos merong mga mangungulit, sige na, o presyong ayaw, di ba? Tapos I'm only here for like a month and a half. Sige, okay, whatever. Di ba? And there was really a big demand then. Pero you have to adapt with the times. Diba? So, nung recession, ano bang ginawa ko? Yeah, pero meron akong students kasi yung mga bata, the parents were keeping the kids occupied. Diba? So, they used to come in person. Ngayon, I still teach even if, nagtutour din naman ako but not that often anymore. Pero now, online lang ako nagtuturo. Kasi yun ang gusto ko noon pa.
But still, di ba? Yun nga eh. Yung mga, at least yung mga nagugustuhan mo, nagagawa mo. And you get to perform. nagko-concert ka na rin. Actually, we did the whole Wish Bus launch, di ba?
Yes.
And all that. Speaking of concerts, nag-cancel ka ng concert
Oo.
recently.
Oo. Hindi
Recently, by the way, we're taping this in August of 2023. And si Annie, just to give you a background, hindi nagka-cancel ng concert to eh. Pero, bakit?
Kasi ang galing-galing ng OPM Music Fest, kaya ano.
Concert pala namin yun. Okay.
No,
okay.
no, no. No, but really kasi, my purpose for doing the concert is to highlight the artists,
Okay.
no? And also to give the stage to Filipino-American artists
Yes.
and or music,
Yes.
diba? And that's always what I've been about. But there's so many things going on that I felt na, why is everyone's focused so distracted? Parang distracted tayong lahat. Kahit ako, aminin ko,
Kahit ako.
next weekend, ano bang gagawin ko? Tapos sabi ko, I can't, and the spot at the Ford Amphitheater is something that I fight for a year in advance.
Wow.
Kasi it's a partnership program. Para ka nag-a-apply ng grant. So I have to prove this, prove that, report this, report that, which I appreciate. Diba? Kaya lang, it was getting to a point na sabi ko, bakit ganito yung response? Ang galing-galing ng mga artista ko and I love them so much, 'di ba? I have JR and the Philharmonic, 'di ba? And I said,
yung ba yun? Oh,
oo.
shoot.
Then I said, I'm going to I still want to support your projects, but this is the thing kasi. People, I really believe also that it's not that the public doesn't care about my show, but they do want to support except nakaliwat kanan na sila. Parang naaawa na ako sa kanila kasi since June, there are 2 to 3 concerts every weekend.
Right.
Tapos feeling ko, wala na yung parang what was it for? Why were we having the show? 'Di ba? And sabi ko, I can't afford to wait for the last minuters.
Right.
'Di ba? Tapos sabi ko, at this point, I still have a choice. 'Di ba? Kaya sabi ko, and it's a business decision.
Yes.
Sabi ko, nandito pa tayo, wag na natin paratingin doon. Tapos sabi ko, I'll still support what you're doing. And sabi ko, I will support whatever else. So I'm supporting Ted Benito's show.
Yeah.
Tapos isa pang, hindi naman intriga. It's just so unusual then na yung circumstances are so weird. Ted and I found out in March and we were working with the LA Philharmonic. They gave us the same date.
What?
'Di ba? Pero magkaibang faction 'yon. I mean, there's Ford Theaters and then there's the Disney Hall.
Disney Hall. Oo.
Parang hindi kayo nag-usap kasi kami hindi namin alam eh. 'Di ba? Kami tapos it's more like collaboration over competition. 'Yun kasi yung feeling ko eh. Kasi parang sabi ko, I'm not putting up a concert para lang kumita ako.
Oh.
'Di ba?
No.
Hindi eh. So it's I don't want them to be wondering if people will be coming, tapos
Right.
kung ilan yan or kalahati lang ba yung ayoko rin makita nung Ford Theater, no, asan na yung mga Pilipino, ayoko sabihin nila yon, 'di ba? So it's just unfortunate na yung timing na yun parang dito nakikita ko na naalanganin, 'di ba? Alanganin
So,
siya.
coming up with this decision, did you meditate on it, pray on it, or how did you come up with a decision? Tapos yung pag-communicate ng decision na yun, was it easy? Was it hard? I know it's a business decision.
Yeah.
Diba?
I had to do it. I postponed it as much as I could, pero I said I needed to tell them that we need to move it because I still want to do something with them. And if
Yes.
we can revive it maybe next year instead of this year, 'di ba? So, sabi ko, we want to I really have to do this decision and I've never made a decision like this na hindi na lang itutuloy. Kasi I think through the years, dahil matanda na rin ako, parang inaano ko na dapat sulit yung pagod natin lahat. Diba? The ones who are doing this. I just felt like everyone was distracted.
Artist, staff.
Yeah, the team who's helping me, they're there. Pero parang ang dami rin nilang inaasikaso. Ako rin, ang dami kong inaasikaso. Kasi I think probably post-COVID, parang we're trying all to recover at tapos parang gusto natin gawin lahat.
Right.
Diba? Diba? And we kind of want to achieve this and achieve that. Pero if I'm looking at it, sabi ko parang the purpose of doing the show is what's this, watered down? watered down na eh. Kasi
Okay.
parang before, when we do the shows at the Ford, oh my God, there's a Filipino show at the Ford, yay! And we want to support, and then everybody, tas hindi nagsisiksikan yung shows around it.
Right.
Diba? So we're able to highlight, and Geneva was in that show in 2018. That was the last one that I had there. And that was like Pinay Power naman yon. Louis Reyes, me, Giselle Tonji, Odette Quesada, and Geneva. Diba? So, kasi nga gusto mong i-highlight sila.
Yes.
And that was the purpose. Ngayon, I just felt na it's so hard to highlight them. I mean, the show, because of all the... Kasi gusto mo rin supportahan yung ibang shows that are coming before.
Or, hindi kaya, sa akin lang, no? I felt the way you felt na parang watered down, ang daming dumarating na artist. Tapos, yung epiphany ko happened when umuwi ako ng Pilipinas. Kaliwat kanan ng mga concert. Yung mga nakikita natin dito na nagkakandara pa tayo na concert. Sa Pilipinas, makikita mo na sa Music Museum lang sila. O nasa 19 East. O nasa Soler. Or, di ba? Or, kumbaga parang, then it dawned on me. Wouldn't it be nice, like kami dalawa ni JJ, we were just talking, ang tour namin matatapos ng August 19 of 2023. Ang Duran Duran, which we are both fans of, concert nila sa Yamava is on August 20.
Yeah.
Dati yun, malaking yun eh. Now, andyan lang sila sa Yamava.
Oo, 1,000 something, under 2,000 capacity na kasi
Diba?
producer, alam niyo mga.
I mean, Tears for Fears had a concert
Hollywood
last
Bowl.
week.
Yeah.
Diba? And so parang sabi ko, if we don't look at it, if we don't look at it as watered down, and we look at it as being ubiquitous, which means this is going to be a normal thing. It brings the prices down and it makes it reachable for everybody. Yun na naiisip ko dun.
Yeah.
As a promoter
Yes.
and an artist,
Yeah.
it gives opportunities for other artists to come to the States nang hindi nila tayo tinitira sa alulod. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Diba? Kumbaga, ang States na lang ngayon is para ka nagpunta ng Davao. Na may mga, not to lower the price of artists, but everybody has to understand that the ecosystem
Yeah.
is changing.
Yes.
To
Exactly.
your point, dati, highlight pag natugtog sa Ford. Ngayon, sana nga every week may Filipino tumutugtog sa Ford to the point na nagrereklamo na ang ibang mga lahi na bakit puro Pilipino na lang.
Yeah.
Naisip ko lang. Now, so ang haba ng setup, no? Would you welcome that type wherein may amalgamation ng major artists and artists from the Philippines at the same time yung ating mga homegrown artists nagme-meld sa isang concert? Would you welcome that opportunity?
Yes, kasi creatively, sana. And that's what I always try to do before. That's why when I've brought Ryan Cayabyab on tour 3 times na. No? So, and we will always have the local artist perform with him, especially if I produce the LA shows. Kasi pag ibang city, hindi na ako yung producer. Diba? Pero creatively, sana. Diba? Sana talaga ganon. And pero driving to the point, where the prices become more reachable. Actually, that's what the Ford was after. Pero feeling ko, parang hindi ready yung audience. Diba? Parang ganun yung ano nun eh. Parang hindi sila ready na ganun. Na parang, bakit ganyan lang yung cost niyan? Pero yun nga kasi, there's subsidies or anything. But anyway, nung I was studying music business in UCLA na there are contracts now kasi talaga na based on ilan ang upuan na mapupuno mo.
Yeah.
'Di ba? Kasi kunyari, kung si Madonna ka, alam mong kahit yung 3,000 sa harap may bibili niyan. 'Di ba? Pero kapag hindi pa ikaw 'yon.
Yep.
'Di ba? Tsaka parang nowadays, why does Taylor Swift have 6 sold out shows in SoFi? Fan base niya.
Yes.
Diba? So parang, I know a lot of people will say, may pinag-aralan ako, meron akong skill. Yes, sure. Pero kailangan, dapat gusto kang panuorin ng tao.
Ang galing, di ba?
Oo.
Like what you're doing. When we started this conversation, ikaw lahat, DIY ang website, DIY ang lahat. And Taylor Swift has that. She has her own machinery for marketing. And I think sina AJ Rafael has their own machine. Sina JR,
Yes.
the Philharmonics, di ba?
Yes.
The Philharmonic. Sila may kanya-kanya silang machinery.
Yeah.
And I think the aspiring artist, correct me if I'm wrong, should not feel entitled. They should create their own machinery.
Yeah, exactly. Kasi that's how the business is going about now. And sometimes they'll just say, no matter what genre you're in, basta mahanap ka ng fans mo. So kung ano mang platform yung, and now you have many choices ng platform. 'Di ba? Gusto mong libre, streaming sa, hindi man libre sa Spotify, o may bayad na yung sa akin, ayoko man commercial. Tapos, ang dami mong options. You can be a YouTube star, you can be, ang dami mong, but you need to know how to monetize that.
Yes.
'Di ba? So, yun, and I think that change came very quickly. 'Di ba? Parang, biro mo, for how many years tayong decades na ticket, venue. 'Di ba? Tapos within a span of less than 10 years,
Boom, iba na. 360 na ngayon.
oo, 'di ba? Yeah, exactly. 'Di ba? Tapos talagang ngayon Live Nation had to, well, this was what we were studying, na the touring industry in the US changed a whole lot because now even the recording company ceased to be the point of sale of anything.
Yup.
Kaya Live Nation now is like buying entire contracts including merch.
And yun nga, 360 yung 360 contracts.
360
Diba?
contracts,
Not only that, lockout ng venue. Alam mo ba yun? Di ba?
Oo, yeah, oo.
Hindi ka makakuha ng magandang prime date kasi nilockout na ng Live Nation yan.
Tapos nagrereklamo yung mga tao sa Facebook, bakit daw sabay-sabay yung mga Pinoy mag-concert? Kasi po walang venue. Wala po kaming makuhang venue because we're locked out.
Which means the Larry Calonzos and the Raymond Mangunis of the should create a venue, di ba? Para sa ating mga Noipi.
And that's why I think Noipits is doing
yeah.
good.
Yes.
Kasi nga, we have access to that venue.
Yes.
Kaya para dun sa mga naulit nagtatanong na bakit nga yung mga show parang tapos sabay-sabay kayo. Kasi yun yung period na walang booking yung theaters.
Yes.
In plural because there is an industry. And I had to learn this also kasi nag-member ako ng Association of Performing Arts Presenters. May season ng buying yun. Tapos pag binook na nila yung season na yun, may bakante. Kaya kami ni Ted Benito sabay ang date kasi walang summer ang Disney.
So para tayo nag-e-expedia ng ng venue. Kung ano lang ang available, yun lang napupunta sa atin. Unless you challenge them.
Yeah.
Mahal naman to challenge.
No, but we have to break into that system.
Yes.
No, yung the talent buying season. Kasi nga, a lot of us are part-time. Diba? Ang hirap kasi pag part-time ka. Pero actually, may nagtanong sa akin noon. Sabi ko, performing arts venues will welcome cultural dance, for example. Kasi for them, this is their budget, ganyan. We all work. Sabi ko, di schedule lang natin ng weekend. Pwede naman yun eh.
Yeah.
Diba? Pero that's really the role of the touring agent or the booking agent. There's really a category of person or businesses that do just booking these talents. Hindi rin sila sumasama.
Naisip
They
ko
don't
lang,
even go.
Pag nagtuturo ka ng voice, online or in person, hindi mo ba naisip na isama to sa curriculum mo?
Actually, some people have asked me, why don't you include it? Pero wala pa actually nagtatanong na turuan ko sila niyan.
I think you should offer it to them because
Yeah.
hindi nila maiintindihan minsan eh. Like
Yeah.
when I teach drums,
Yeah.
nagugulat sila because yung estudyante, may 5 tao doon na hindi niya kilala. Like dito, pag nagturo ako ng drums dito, may mga taong nakaupo sa sofa na minsan mga kaibigan ko lang, may kumakain sila ng peanuts o uminom sila ng whiskey habang may tinuturuan ako ng drums. So itong taong to parang hindi niya kilala ito, ba't may tao
Bakit
rito?
may tao dito?
Aba, saan ka ba tutugtog?
Oo, yeah. Marunong ka nga, where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna play those
Marunong ka nga
drums?
tumugtog, duwag ka naman sa tao. At least hindi ka marunong. Ayan na yung mga tao. So, bagong style
Yes.
ng pagtuturo.
Yeah.
Eventually, kumakapal yung mukha nila and nabibuild yung confidence sila
Yeah.
habang natututo sila mag-drums. Di ba? Pumapalakpak siya.
Oo,
I
yeah.
like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Piece of, ilanding natin to. Advice to aspiring musicians. And by the way, hindi nyo napansin, pero yung pagbigkas ni Annie sa Tagalog when she said musiko, that's the noun that we actually use. Hindi po musikero, it's actually musiko. So, sa mga aspiring na gusto maging musiko, na katulad natin, what's your advice?
I usually tell them 3 things. Sana maalala ko yung pangalawa. Pero yung una, sabi ko sa'yo, minsan nakakalimutan ko yung... Hindi kasi naaalala ko yan. Yung una, really, is learn to cope. Okay, a lot of people are surprised. So, it doesn't mean like parang I should be like maganda or sexy. No, first learn to cope kasi there will be demands, whatever it is, rehearsal time, dealing with people, like your student being watched by some people. So, it's really coping with what you have to do first. And it's very general. Kasi some people say, don't I need talent? Kita mo, ang dami dyang walang talent. You will say wala silang talent. But they have some sort of talent, whether it's marketing talent, diba? Not necessarily musical talent. But, what are your goals? Okay, so that's number 1. Learn to cope. The second one, which I think I remember, is usually learn to prepare. Diba? Kasi sometimes, kasi, gusto nila alam nila kagad, or there's a lot of, because we know this, because we're producers, promoters, and we work in the background, we're teachers, gaano ba ilang oras nagre-rehearse yung bata na yun para gumaling siya mag-drums? Diba? Hindi mo pwedeng i-crash course yan ng 2 weeks.
Yes, I agree.
Diba? Kaya you have to learn to prepare, and every time I have students, I always tell them that na kahit na I just ask you to print out the lyrics just so we can write the breath marks, you have to prepare it. Because you don't want to get to the rehearsal or the show or whatever. Oh, I don't have this. Oh, because the thing is, if you make someone else do it, guess who doesn't know the material? Ikaw.
Yes,
you don't know it. Diba? And the third one is, don't suck. Yun lang. Don't suck. Seriously.
Ibig sabihin, always try to improve yourself.
Yeah, I applaud you for trying to explain don't suck. Pero kasi but actually what it really means also, to be good at what you do is actually to learn to discern. Kasi sometimes people don't know that they suck pala, 'di ba? Kasi have you experienced na yung parang sinulat ko yung kanta na yan yung pinakamagandang kanta sa buong mundo kasi sinulat ko yan, or ang ganda-ganda ng performance ko kasi I tried so hard and I felt it. Ganun sa talo sa competition, 'di ba? Because you probably sucked because you're relating yung kung gaano mo yung the intensity of what you did or what you believe is maganda without looking at everything.
Walang comparables, in other words.
Yeah, without looking at the whole thing,
Yeah.
'di ba?
Oh, ang ganda nung
Kasi
maganda yun.
anong pakiramdam ko? Ang ganda-ganda niyan. Sinulat ko yung kagabi. Gandang-ganda ko.
So dapat maging objective ka. The only way to not suck actually is to be objective.
To learn, to learn this. Kasi it's learned.
Yeah.
It's learned, di ba? Like kung gusto mong maging drummer, kailangan nakikinig ka ng mga drummer, di ba?
Nagsuntukan kami ng kapatid ko.
Seriously? Kailan?
Nung time na lumabas yung Envelope Ideas, gumawa ako ng kanta. And sinabi ko, pakinggan mo to, ito ang magiging hit song. Pinakinggan niya, sabi niya, ang pangit itong kanta mo. To your point, akala ko talaga yun ang pinakamagandang kanta dahil hindi ko kinumpare. And nag-away kami talaga. Now, looking back in hindsight, I would have said the same thing to my brothers.
Hindi masyadong maganda. Hindi kasi you're relating how you feel about the material and how you felt about creating it without its actual quality. But you have to realize also that you need to distance yourself from it.
Yes.
Diba? Kasi syempre ngayon, sinulat mo, ang ganda niyan talaga. Today, tomorrow. Tapos mamaya next month, meron akong gustong palitan. Or it could be, ang ganda. Also, di ba? So pero kasi that's what drives it. Fans, fan base.
Yes.
So you shouldn't be the only one to like it.
Yes.
You shouldn't be the only, your parents and your sister and your best friend shouldn't be the only ones who will like your performance. Kailangan kahit yung mga hindi mo kakilala, magugustuhan din nila kung ano man yun. Diba?
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Annie Nepomuceno! Kung gusto nyo mag-voice lessons, we'll put all the details sa description. Kaya makikita nyo ron. And lahat ng information na bibigay ni Miss Annie sa atin, yun ang ilalagay natin Kaya kung ano nakikita nyo rito, galing po sa kanya.
Ang galing mo, grabe.
Magaling ka.
Ikaw, magaling ka.